And essentially, today we're going to continue to this theme of emotions. Um, really, much of what I've been offering this month is um, complementary to the work we're doing in our empathic exchange, which will take place this evening, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of you are welcome. In this empathic exchange, though, we're moving towards this practice of guessing at people's feelings and needs. And really, there has to be a hard stop there and an acknowledgement that many folks walk around day to day and don't know what they are feeling. And so, bringing language, bringing curiosity, learning to deal with our felt experiences is a huge part of what I think healthy communication, both with self and others, entails. So today we're going to do something very specific that I would say is really a tool for learning to ride the wave of your felt experience. Some of you joined me for a breath series many moons ago now, and you would have been exposed to this concept. So welcome back. It's familiar. We're also going to weave into this piece that I will explain a little bit further in a moment, some grounding techniques. So what I'm offering today in part is the opportunity to just be curious and feel what you feel. If you are like me and the weather is gloomy and fall is happening and grief is present, there might be some really big feelings pretty accessible to you in moments of stillness and quiet. I'm going to encourage you to lean into those feelings, to explore them, and to see if the tools offered help. And if ever things get too intense, we're going to have some grounding strategies. You can use the grounding strategies to back away from the felt experience. You don't always have to feel what you feel in the moment you feel it. So there's a titration that we can kind of play with here too. So I'm going to give a little bit more explanation and then we'll start the formal practice. Here in the explanation, I want you to understand an acronym. And I'm going to type that acronym into the chat. It's BRFWA. B is for breathe. R is for relax. F is for feel. W, watch. And A, allow. So some of you might be familiar with the very famous practice of RAIN. It's similar, but nuanced differently. I was exposed to BRFWA when I was getting my yoga teacher certification at Kripalu Institute. And it is a little bit of a paradigm at Kripalu. They even make BRFWA t-shirts. So anybody that's attended Kripalu will know what I'm talking about. We're also going to, I'm going to lead you through that. You don't need to know what those words mean. I'm going to prompt that process. But we're also going to start today with a few grounding techniques, and those are the ones I'll cue back for use if things get too intense. So we're going to begin, and we're going to begin eyes open. I want you to cue that vagus nerve to safety. And we do that in any number of ways. You might look 360 degrees, even if you know you're in a room and you know what's around you. The vagus nerve needs to know, even above, even below, there are no real threats. You might roll through some of the joints, because if you are in fight or flight mode, there is no rolling of joints, there's locking of joints. So any movements, rotations you want to take. And then as you settle in, finding a posture that's upright but relaxed, gently close the eyes, listening for sound. And as that sound fades, let the next 3 breaths be the most mindful and the most fruitful that you've had all day. In fact, you're all on mute, so let those exhales be audible. A sigh, a moan, a groan. And as you drop in, feel into any sensation of weight or heaviness in the body. We're finding gravity as a grounding mechanism. So you might notice your body's contact with the chair, any hardness or give in the surface you're sitting on. You might really feel the sense of your whole body sitting, its mass, its weight, the heaviness of bones, the way that gravity pulls the skin downward. Let your attention rest with these sensations of weight, of gravity. Knowing that this connection between you and Mother Earth can offer refuge if ever an emotion becomes too intense. Find your feet and become aware now of any sensations in the feet. The temperature, the weight, maybe even the texture beneath the feet. The feet are one of a handful of places in the body where there are countless nerve endings. See if you can just feel your feet alive with sensation right now. Knowing that the feet can also be a grounding point if ever what you're experiencing becomes too intense. And from your feet, I'd like to invite you now to begin to scan the body in an upward direction, moving slowly and meticulously, as if you could explore each vein, each bone, each hollow, like the caves and caverns. And as you scan the body, I want you to pause anytime you notice that there is sensorial feedback. Because what are emotions except for energy? Energy that's meant to be in motion. So maybe if you notice some sensory feedback, you notice that it's moving. But often emotions get stuck. So you might notice too if there's a weight to that sensation, a gravity, a stuckedness. It can be helpful to first just think about this feedback as sensory input. It too might have a temperature, a texture, qualities and characteristics. But you might know what it is. It might have emotional vocabulary. And so as you keep scanning upward, you might acknowledge what you're feeling. Fatigue, anxiety, excitement, boredom. No matter what words you use, we're going to see if we can stay with any one sensation that feels most powerful for you in this moment. So pick an area of the body where you're getting some feedback. Maybe it's feedback that extends throughout the body. And I want you to find your breath, as if the breath was a surfboard. You take a hold of it and you just watch it as it rocks in and out, up and down. And as breath reminds you here that all things come and go, the invitation is to relax or relax. In fact, notice if you're guarding against what you're feeling, or if there is a way in which you're rejecting it, suppressing it, or even wrestling with it. And see if you can't just soften. Literally soften the muscles, but also the mind. There's nothing to do here but to experience what you're feeling. So as you breathe and you relax, the invitation is to feel anything and everything that's present. And if that feeling becomes too intense, you can go back to one of these grounding techniques, gravity, the feet, or you can see what the practice has to offer you. Because as you feel it, you've got this breath to hold you, to bring you what you need, to sweep away what doesn't serve you. And you've got a cue to keep relaxing. Because suffering has to do with our resistance or our suppression of this experience. It's not the experience itself that is the problem. So you're breathing and you're relaxing and you're just feeling it for what it is. Energy in motion, sensory feedback. And as you do this, the W naturally takes place. You can watch it. You can watch this metaphorical wave ebb and flow. You can watch these feelings rise and fall. By watching, you are allowing it to do what it's here to do. Feelings aren't facts. They're messengers. We've got to receive the message if we want it to stop alarming, if we want to allow it to run its course. So maybe there's something you've been wrestling with and you want to even invite in that something right about now to see if these strategies help. If not, that's okay. But welcome whatever it is you need to feel, whatever messages you need to clear, by simply working the steps. Breathe, relax, soften, open, so that you can feel the message from your nervous system. You're feeling it. And as you breathe and relax and feel, you can watch this thing emerge, and you can allow this thing to run its course. a moment longer, just moving through those steps. Finding gravity and or your feet if it gets too intense. And recalling that you're not out on that surfboard alone. In fact, there are 6 of us right now atop our own surfboards, willing to share time and space in the ocean of our felt experience. Breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. Stay with the sound as long as you can hear it. And as that sound fades, eyes still closed, let the chin drop to the chest. Just this moment of acknowledging that you've come today to practice and that we show up every single day to battle the ups and downs of life with diabetes, which also means that we are already professional surfers. When this feels complete, you can let the eyes slowly open and adjust away from a screen.